Right, I'm Liz Tomkinson and I'm going to give you a short presentation about reflective writing. We're going to go through these 4 points. What is reflection? Why reflect? Methods you can use to reflect, and using models in reflection. What is reflection? Reflection occurs when you give something serious and careful thought. It's an important activity in which people recapture their experience, think about it, mull it over and evaluate it. It is working with experience that's important with learning. And we'll explain this a little bit. So why reflect? Reflection gives us permission to think about something. Usually, if we experience something, we don't give ourselves time to think about it. But doing a reflection gives us the opportunity to think. Reflection enables people to improve their performance, having thought through their experience. It also allows a debriefing when people come to terms with their feelings, maybe after having dealing with a difficult or challenging situation. So reflection is thinking deeply about something that we've experienced. It encourages us to investigate best practice and allows us to look at how we can improve. It encourages us to think about how we can do better at what we do and allows us to learn, improve and be self-critical. There are lots of ways you can reflect. At university, you might be asked to create a diary, keep a journal. You might reflect in a discussion, either in a group or a one-to-one. You might undertake self-assessments. You might be asked to create a SWOT, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Or you might be asked to write a formal reflective essay or a formal reflective essay using a model. So there's not just one way you can be asked to reflect, but this presentation now will be going into the more formal ways that you'd be asked to reflect. There are lots and lots of different models that you can use to reflect on, but one of the most simple is Driscoll's model. It's 3 questions: what, so what, and now what. Under the what bit, you describe what happened. You tell the facts about what happened. Then under the so what, you do your investigation. Why is this situation worthy of reflection? This is where you'd link best practice, your codes of conduct, your standards, your theories, your research into what happened in that situation. So you're linking the theory with practice. And then when you've done that, the now what bit is what have you learned and what could have been done differently in that situation, and how would you improve next time you met with that situation. So Driscoll's model is quite simple. Here is an example summary using Driscoll's model. So the first question, what happened? X did not do his fair share in the group work. It meant that everyone else had to do more. He just said that he couldn't make the meetings. In the end, it was uncomfortable because everyone fell out. So tell me the facts. What happened? What are you going to be reflecting on? The so what bit is your investigation into the problem. So in this example, you'd be investigating, why do groups fall out? What is it about group dynamics? What makes groups work? What's the best practice in groups so you can avoid this sort of issue? This is the section where you're looking into the theory about group work, you're looking at the published research, and then you're comparing how your group's behaviour compared against that of best practice. And this section, because you're looking at research, will have citations. So you'd have a reference list. This section would be written third person. So it's not I think and I thought and I did this and I did that. It's an academic investigation into what the theory says about this situation, in this case groups, group theory and group work, and comparing what happened in your situation to what is best practice. So that would all be third person writing. In the third part, the now what, you now would know what to do next time you meet this situation. So what would you do differently next time? So that's what the now what would be about. What have you learned from this investigation? So that's a very simple reflective model. What happened, so what, and now what? There are other models. Another very well-known one is Gibbs. He's just got a few different sections, but you say what the experience is that you've experienced, how did you feel about it, an evaluation, which is what went well and what didn't, the analysis, which is the looking in detail at the situation, the conclusions, and your action plan, so next time you experience that you could be better at it. CLOB is another very well-known model, uses some long academic words. It goes through concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. They sound very complicated, but the concrete experience is describing what happened. The reflective observation is, why did the things occur the way they did? The third part, abstract conceptualization, a very complicated way of saying, what do the experts say about this situation? So that would be your research. And your active experimentation is, how will you put that learning into practice in the future? So in fact, although it sounds quite complicated, it's reasonably simple and very similar to Driscoll's in a way. Using a model, I think, is easier than just writing a reflection because it provides you with a structure. And following a structure to reflect is often easier than not doing so, as it leads you through the subtitles of what to include. Often academic reflections are asking you to compare what did happen with what should have happened, i.e. what happened compared to best practice. So reflection does need research, e.g. into best practice. So therefore it needs citations and a reference list. So don't get lulled into thinking a reflection is all about what, saying I did this and I did that. It's not. It's still got to be written academically, and it's got to be relating the theory to the practice, and it's got to show that you are being self-critical. So in conclusion, being reflective means analysing a situation or event, which means looking in detail at it and learning from it. So next time you'll be better equipped to deal with it. And remember, for academic purposes, reflection needs to be researched, and therefore it will have citations within it and will have a reference list. Thank you for listening. There's lots more information on our library pages if you care to look.